Hello, my dear students. It's Svetlana again with you. Today is going to be fun. In my free time, I've modeled props for you. To make everything beautiful, use my version specifically. Then you'll definitely achieve the same result as me. The prop is on cloud. Link in description. You need to download the archive with the name Box. Now, a very important point. Find the folder where your project is stored. Create a new folder there. Name it Assets. Unpack the archive into this new folder. As a result, in the Assets folder, you will have a FBX file with the name Box and a folder Textures with the necessary textures. Now, open the latest version of the project, go to the File menu, choose Import and select FBX. Find the Assets folder and choose the Box file. A cube with ugly smoothing will appear in the center of the scene. This is exactly what I modeled all evening. Don't rush to draw conclusions. Now, let's make it look nice in a couple of clicks. Let's rename the object to Box Machinegun. Select it, open the shader editor. Add a new material. Let's give the material the same name, Box Machinegun. Delete the default shader and instead, bring in the Armor PBR block. Now, go to the folder with textures and drag two files into the shader. Box Normal Map and Box Machinegun Diffuse. Set the block with normals to non-color mode and connect it to the normal map channel. Connect the diffuse to the base color channel. Turn up the roughness channel to 1. The box became beautiful. It has a gun painted on it, and you probably already guessed what's next. Go to the outliner and create a new folder at the project root called Boxes. Place our box in this new folder. Move it off the scene. In the object properties, disable default spawning. You also need to add collision to the box. Go to the physics properties, add a rigid body. Switch it to passive mode. Choose collision shape, mesh. Now, let's spawn the box after the start, in a random location. Go back to the logic editor and create a new branch. Name it Box Spawn. We can't attach this branch to the box because after the start, the box doesn't exist. Therefore, I suggest attaching this branch to the background. In the logic branch, add the onInit block. I hope everyone remembers what this block is and how to use it. Attach a delay of a couple of seconds to it. And then connect the spawn object by name block. Specify the scene and the name of our box. Now, we need a combination of 3 blocks. Connect the transform block to the transform channel. Leave rotation and scale as they are. And for the location channel, connect the vector block. Keep the z-axis value at 0. Because the box's transformation point is at the bottom. And it stands on the ground with this point. Therefore, the z-axis is always 0. Feed random values from the random float block to the other two axes with a range from -6.5 to +6.5. Just to be sure, run the game and make sure that the box appears on the scene 2 seconds after the game starts. Let's move on. Now we need to somehow pick up this box. After that, things should go up for the character. The shooting speed should increase. And for complete happiness, let's also increase the bullet speed. We need to create another logic branch called Box Collision. And this time, we link it to the box. In this branch, we will check for collision between the box and the player. For this, We need the on-contact block. Leave the first field empty, and in the second one, specify the player. Now, let's take a minute to switch to physics, because we haven't added physics to the player yet. So, select the player. Add a rigid body. Set it to passive mode, and choose a box as the collision shape. Return to the box collision branch. After the player picks up the box, we need to change two parameters: the shooting speed and the bullet speed. Immediately after that, remove the box from the scene. Set a timer, and after it triggers, reset the variable values. First, let's fill in one gap. Our character doesn't have a variable to store the shooting speed. So, select the player, add a float type variable named fire rate, and set it to 0.3. Now, go to the player shoot branch and connect the new variable to the timer block. Now, if you change the variable value, the shooting speed will also change. Let's go back to the box collision branch. Add two set object property blocks and connect them sequentially, one after the other. In both blocks, specify the player. In the first block, set the fire rate variable and assign it a value of 0.15. Now, the bullets will spawn twice as often as before. In the next block, set the bullet speed variable. Since this variable controls movement, we need to increase value. Let's assign it a value of 0.6. Bullets will now travel twice as fast. And this may create a problem. If objects move too quickly, they may miss collisions, even if their trajectories intersect. See how it looks in slow motion. If the bullet speed is low, then each frame it moves a short distance, and if there's an enemy in its path, the bullet will intersect with it anyway. Now, imagine that the bullet speed has increased. And now, every frame, it moves a distance greater than the size of the enemy. So, in one frame, the bullet is here, and in the next, it's over there. As a result, there is no collision. This problem is easily solved. Select the bullet, go to the physics properties, and check the continuous collision detection option. Now, collisions will be detected, considering the trajectory the bullet has traveled, regardless of its speed. Let's continue. Immediately after assigning the values, remove the box from the screen. We don't need it anymore. After that, add a sleep block. I think 6 seconds should be enough for now. After that, reset the values of both variables. Start the game. Shoot at the normal speed. Now, pick up the box and shoot with the machine gun. 6 seconds of fun, after which everything returns to its original state. That's it for today. Bye-bye.